Okay, so I thought I'd go zero glasses on this. So what we want to talk about today with regards to sleep is that lack of sleep is the biggest killer on the roads, more so than drink driving or drugs-related accidents combined, which is really quite frightening. And the reason being that when someone who is experiencing a micro sleep or a sort of lapse in concentration from being slightly overtired, you're not going to react at all, which means you're not going to brake, and you're not going to try and swerve or maneuver your car. You're just literally going to crash into whatever is in front of you. And even a few degrees of veer and 2-second lapse in concentration, which is defined as a micro sleep, which is pretty much exactly what happens when we switch off. If we've been receiving less than 7 hours of sleep a night for a period of no more than 10 days, then you're very, very likely going to be at risk of having an accident. And this is really quite frightening, because the ones that are drowsiness related tend to be more fatal than someone who has had alcohol, who maybe crash but not kill as many people because they have tried to stop. So that's really one of the things that I wanted to iterate today. And one of the things that it goes on about in Why We Sleep, and quite harrowing really, is a story of in Florida in 2006, just as an example. So this is by no means a sort of anomalous event. A school bus pulled up to a junction, and then carrying 9 kids, and a car came up behind it carrying 7 people, 5 kids, or sort of 5 of which were part of the same family, and a 18-wheeler truck, this was in the US, came flying down the road and went straight into both of them, went over the car, went into the bus, ejected 3 kids out of the bus windows because it hit them so hard. All 9 of the kids were seriously injured. The truck driver was alive, but the car was completely totaled, and it was basically exploded in flames when it went underneath the truck. And the really sad thing about this is that there was 5 kids of the same family, and the oldest was 15 and the youngest was less than 2 years old, and all 7 of them were killed. Now, we don't know these people, we never met them, and it's very easy to be quite detached from it. But the point is that we all have been guilty at some point or another of driving slightly tired, whether we're trying to get back somewhere, we've been working late, or even if we've just been, just coming back from a party, and we've been up for 20 plus hours. Your brain only has about 16 hours of being awake time before it starts to degenerate, and you need to be getting sleep you need to be getting at least 8 hours sleep. But what they discovered within this particular accident was the guy had been up for 34 hours, something ridiculous like that, straight, before he just completely fell asleep at the wheel and crashed. And he was not on drugs, he hadn't drunk any alcohol, he literally just completely fell asleep at the wheel. And this happens far too often, and we need to be personally responsible for ourselves, in that if we are driving, we need to make sure that we're 110% responsible for our car. And sleep is something which we really readily try and put down, and we do try and use that as one of the last things that we go, oh no, we can't sleep, or we think we can make up sleep. And really, in this instance, you can't, and it's not really worth paying the price of lack of sleep. It's very much a case of being careful. So if you gain nothing else from the videos that I've been posting up, and the study that I want to be sharing, is that really, if you are drowsy and you're driving, please pull over and have a nap. or if you can find somewhere to stop permanently for the night, then do it, because it's not worth the risk.